talk to me about this cool trunk. Well, let's look at this. More crowns. You said 17 total.
Yep.
And it looks like the ones on the taillight assembly are
different than everything else.
Yeah. But this is cool. Is this part of the original Imperial design right here?
That is.
And your filler for gas?
That is part of the original design. However, you know, I can't leave anything alone. This used to have a convex shape to it.
Okay.
Which I didn't think fit the car at all, so I gave it a concave.
Cave.
Oh, it was concave.
Now it's convex.
I made it convex.
Flat. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at the size of this big old bumper, man.
Yeah, bumper was narrowed 8 inches.
These are the original like backup lights for the Imperial?
Those are original, but
or
the
did you also massage those?
The exhaust tips are hand fabricated out of stainless and nest straight into the bumper.
Oh, look at that. And what about this here? This is really cool.
So that was an option. It didn't come on all the cars. Like
it was an option for the standard Imperial.
It was, yeah, from
okay.
the standard Imperial. Just like the square-shaped wheel, they called it the D-shaped steering wheel.
Yeah,
that was an option as well.
Let's look at that. Now, why do you think they did it? Thought it was more comfortable to rest your 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock kind of thing? Or did the designers of the Imperial just want to make something different?
Yeah, it had been one of those things that, you know, distinguished their design from everybody else.
Okay.
Virgil Exner was the head of the design studio in this era.
Okay.
And I'm going to jump into the backstory of how this car came to be once I abandoned my rat rod.
Okay, okay, yeah, please do.
So, in the late 50s, you had all the Motorama shows with GM and Ford, and Chrysler brought out their craziest, wildest visions for the future.
Yeah, yeah, I remember seeing magazines and stuff like that.
Everybody's, you know, the sexiest car you can do is a 2-seat sports car, right?
Right.
So everybody's doing 2-seat sports cars. Chrysler did, you know, the Falconer, the XNR, the Diablos 1, 2, and 3. All of these 2-seat sports cars.
Falconer was a big car too, wasn't it?
Well, Falconer.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking about the Falconer Giudice, made by somebody else.
Okay. So they had all these concepts, and Chevrolet was making the Corvette, Ford was producing the Thunderbird, and what was Chrysler making for a 2-seat sports car to sell to the public in the late 50s?
I have no clue.
Crickets. Nothing.
Oh.
They did nothing. They didn't make a 2-seat sports car until the Dodge Viper in 1991.
No kidding.
Yeah. So this is part of my backstory of what if they decided to produce, you know, maybe it's a gentleman's GT sort of 2-seat sports car. And that's one of the reasons it was so important for me to keep it all Imperial.
Okay.
Keep all the recognizable pieces of Imperial.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to rewrite my piece of history.
That's pretty cool though, man.
And I wanted people that when they saw it, when they saw the car, then maybe they knew Imperials, they'd be like, yeah, it's all Imperial pieces.
Yeah.
They never made one.
Well, that's very cool. Very, very good processing from history to here to create something that they should have created. Right. And maybe they just didn't think, who knows what, but you created this, and this is just like magnificent. I understand you've won some awards. We talked a little bit about this off camera, and this car has been around the world?
Not around the world, but it's been around the country.
Okay, okay.
And you know, it's been to the SEMA show multiple times and won the Mother's Choice Award.
No kidding.
To the top 10 cars.
Yeah.
SEMA, so that was an ultimate honor. It's been to Detroit Autorama, Chicago World of Wheels. It went to the Tulsa Go for the Gold Darryl Starbird show.
Okay.
Where when it was there, it took their Go for the Gold Award, which was a check for $20,000.
I'll be damned.
At the time, it was the biggest cash prize in all of hot rodding, and it beat a previous Riddler Award winner.
Good for you.
That had never been defeated anywhere before.
Cool.
A little car built in the garage.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. Well, that's testament to your attention to detail, your vision, and your craftsmanship. I mean, are you OCD by chance?
I'm not, but the guy who did the paint and body definitely
Okay, cool. Right on. Yeah, yeah. Because your attention to detail in this car is tremendous. So, $10,000 question for you. It's a beautiful day, drop top. Can we take this car for a ride?
Of course. Let me see.
Of course, he says. Stick around here. Only on Muscle Cars There you can cruise in a cool car like this. Be right back. We're cruising around in a car custom made by the man himself, Murray Pfaff, and this is cool. So what do you think, man? What's the coolest thing about driving this car?
Driving this car?
Yeah, I'll bet, right? Seriously, it's a simple answer, isn't it? This is bad to the bone, man. I mean, heck yeah. All right, so we're gonna cruise and listen to this car.
Oh, look at that. Man.
Oops. Is he ready? I'm ready. This is so cool. Look at this windscreen here. Same kind of windscreen it's in a fighter jet.
My sunglasses on the floor right there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
They look like the dog chewed them.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah.
All the new ones I buy get broken.
Do they really?
But this pair,
that's cool.
ride and die.
I just in case I brought a spare pair of sunglasses and my reading glasses. Unfortunately, I haven't lost them. This is a rare treat. This guy's a legend, and I'm riding in his car that he built himself in his garage with 10 buddies, 2.5-car garage. So I gather you live in this area because I understand you had a party or something like that yesterday or something?
Yeah, just had a cruise in on the street.
Okay, cool.
Cars to come and hang out.
Nice. Well, right now we are on the legendary Woodward Avenue, and Saturday is going to be the Woodward Cruise. Right here is Dugan's. A lot of cool cars over there.
We got over on the left here the reliable trucks unloading, probably GM's showcase of cars.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
This is where they're going to have their big GM dealership thing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
That's where GM performance parts will be.
That's cool.
And then this is Memorial Park, where you see all the tent frames.
Yep.
And so that's the Michigan Hot Rod Association.
Okay.
Where they camp out, and they'll have probably 500 cars in there.
Really, in there?
In there, yep. Parked on the grass amongst the
shade
of the trees. It's a beautiful sight.
I bet it is. I understand there's like 10,000 or more cars participating in this.
They guesstimate, because there's no registration,
Of course.
up and over 30,000 cars and 2 million people.
30,000 cars and 2 million people. That's incredible. And they're already lining up here. And as the day progresses and the temperature starts to go down a little bit, we have more and more people cruising, and we're going to come up some more early cruising spots. Is that donut shop further up here?
It is.
Okay.
Tell you what, we'll cruise by it, and then you can go back and hang out.
Yeah, we'll go back there. Alright, we're pulling into the donut cutter. He's going to drop and go. And this is where all the Mopars hang out. So this is where I'm going to be for a few hours yet today. Alright.
Deep one.
All right. Say goodbye, Murray.
Hang on.
All right.
So you're not
Gotcha.
stepping into the hole.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
All right. Right there.
See you,
Hey,
dude.
my pleasure.
Thanks, man. You're awesome.
We'll see you out there.
Thank you. I'll be out there. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, brother. Be good. Thanks for riding along. More cool content only on Muscars with Eric.